What's going on? What's going on? What is going on? How are y'all doing? Welcome, 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 welcome to I Once Was Lost, but Now I'm Found, brought to you by the School of Good Citizenship. I hope y'all are out there doing fine, doing well this evening. This is going to be an amazing series that will get you motivated, engaged, informed, right? Through art and work and citizenship and vocation, all that kind of stuff. We have some amazing artists that are going to hit our virtual stage here this evening. First of all, my name is Bluz. Nice to meet you. I will be your host for this four-part series, so buckle up. And if you're like on your phone or on your computer, now's the time to go tell a friend to hurry up and get over here so that they can see the show. We'll probably play it back a couple of times for you, but for right now, you want to catch it live. Listen, this is going to be an amazing show. Tonight, we're going to have David Tang, who's going to bring you some amazing work from John P. Key. And we're going to have an amazing poet, Deem. Oh, we'll talk about him a little bit. But first and foremost, I want you guys to stick around for afterwards, because we're going to have this incredible talkback, an interactive talkback, right? Not just, well, sitting there and yeah, no silence. It's going to be work. We're going to go into breakout rooms. We're going to use all this technology to our advantage in order to start conversation, in order to start building community, no matter where we are. I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina. I don't know where you are, but I know you're close because I can feel you, and that's what this energy is about. Let me tell you about the School of Citizenship real quick. It's an amazing, amazing project. It's also brought to you. This is also brought to you by the Light Factory, the Levine Museum of the New South, Johnson C. Smith University, UNCC, International House, CBI, and Latin American Coalition, along with some artists. We have over 200 artists, musicians, and photographers, filmmakers, all kinds of people participating in this event around the world. We even have someone in Sao Paulo. I'm telling you, it's around the world. So you know what? I'm not going to stop talking, and I'm going to introduce you to two very important people who can give you a little bit more about the School of Citizenship, my good friends, Nora and Marshall.
Well, good evening, and thank you, Bluz, for that beautiful introduction. That was great. I'm Nora Ligorano.
And I'm Marshall Reese.
And together we work as LigoranoReese. We, along with a team of people, some of the partners that Bluz mentioned, created the School of Good Citizenship, which is a series of 6 art events that take place from August now through October. And I once was lost, but now I'm found is the 3rd event in the School of Good Citizenship. So throughout this program, we're going to be showing artwork that has been created as part of the school from the photography workshop at the Light Factory and from the show at the Levine Museum, which is called Counting Up What's on Your Ballot, which is currently online in a virtual gallery.
The school was conceived to create a space where people from different communities can have a voice, especially in this time of discord, using new technologies like streaming media and collaborative online spaces like Zoom, developed as meeting spaces. But with our team, we've repurposed these platforms for creative collaborations.
We believe that art has the power to change and to promote discussion around complex issues. Art and artists provide fresh ways to look at what's happening in our society today and offer new perspectives.
We've been organizing the school since fall of 2018. Through that time, it's taken many turns due to the current crises, the most profound being the pandemic and civic action around racial inequity. But we remain committed to our core principles of making a project that addresses voting rights.
I once was lost, but now am found is our way to bring people together as in a public artwork on a virtual platform when it's no longer that easy to gather physically.
As we worked in Charlotte over the past year, the enthusiasm of those we met and the partnerships we forged transformed the project beyond our initial vision in ways we could never have imagined ourselves. This is very much a collaborative effort. We realized together with our partners that the School of Good Citizenship was not only about art and activism, but also about giving voice.
This project brings artists, poets, choirs together in harmony when all around us is dissonance. Every evening has a narrative arc, and that moves us through the computer screen and onto a new kind of communal space. So at the end of each evening, as Bluz had mentioned, we invite you to meet other viewers in small rooms, continue the conversation online. So definitely stick around for the doodle talk at the end of the show.
To paraphrase William Carlos Williams, it is difficult to get the news from poems, yet we die miserably every day for lack of what is found there.
The next 4 nights of poetry and song promise to deliver the kind of essential news that normally gets overlooked and underreported or unreported. Yet it is so necessary for our survival and for our sense of community. So thank you all for joining us tonight. And
now we're going to hear from one of the first artists of the series and the first artist of this evening, spoken word poet, Deem Malik. Please.
Peace, my name's Deem Malik. Most people call me Deem Malik. I was sent here to spit my piece. I aim to bring you peace. If I tear you to pieces, may you rest in peace. Please. My name's Deem Malik Jordan. I go by Deem Malik. This poem is called Ramadan Day 6 and 46 minutes because this is when I wrote this poem. A letter to the child that I might one day raise. You didn't ask to be brought into this world, but from the moment that you cried for the first time, God and I had a spiritual agreement that your tiny ears couldn't pick up on. To my daughter, that I may one day be blessed with, I love you, and you are beautiful. Know that your beauty is not defined by the skin you are in, but by your body and the spirit that inhabits it. You, your soul is in it. Know that you are strong. You are more than the vessel that is meant to house other vessels. You are wonderful. You are not a nesting doll. You are worth your worth, and your worth is your choice. You are more than struggle and dependence. You are a blessing and a lesson to everyone you come in contact with. Your hands are that of nurses, but also that of teachers that tirelessly aim to inspire. Know that knowledge will set you free, and you should always speak on your beliefs. And wallahi, you are from a legacy of queens and kings, so your mind isn't a slave to any manner of men or jinn or inner demon, that every atom of your being is just as free as the first man. To the son that I may one day be blessed with, I love you, and you are also beautiful. Know that your beauty is not defined by your skin or the skin you are in or your body, but it is simply beautiful because your soul is in it. Know that beauty is nothing to be ashamed of, that you don't need skin that is tough or thick. You are more than just a vessel, more than just brute force. Your hands are more than you think they are. Your hands are that of soldiers, but also that of sculptors. Understand. Know that knowledge will set you free as long as you look for it, and you should always speak on your beliefs. And wallahi, you are from a legacy of queens and kings, so your mind isn't slave to any manner of men or jinn or inner demons that can inhabit it. You are free. Every atom of your being is just as free as the first man. To my daughter or son, know that I will love you harder and warmer than the reality of this cold world, harder than it could ever hit you. Rest easy knowing that I'm not a king, but you'll be raised to act like leaders, so that you will never think like followers, but rather like guardians of your own moral compass. To my child, know that as long as you try your damnedest, you don't ever have to worry about the outcome or our income, because I will believe in you and your success until it materializes. And if need be, trust, I will tear off the top of my torso as tax, tithe, and tuition. Know that you won't need to believe in the same God as me, but you will be taught to respect that there are deeper, broader workings in this world than your eyes can see. So sometimes you have to stay still and silent and meditate on the energy around you. Call it annoying, call it dad being weird, but recognize that I can only teach you that which I know and not what I don't. I can only explain that which I understand, and I understand that trusting your hearts and taking leaps of faith are lessons that we are continuing to learn. The difference between birds that fly and birds that don't are the birds that fly have never stopped trying to fly. They never gave up, so they never forget. They continue to believe for generations and centuries. Understand, you will learn that faith and flight are synonymous. You never have to flee. Know that I will never say because I said so, because I can only raise you out of childhood and into adulthood and not vice versa. And me saying because I said so is me saying that you don't deserve an explanation. That is me stunting your growth. That is me clipping your wings. My angel on earth, I only want to see you fly, because again, faith and flight are synonymous. Lastly, know that no matter what shade of flesh your mother is, your father is a brown man, a black man. So you are going to be a brown child, a black child. You are different, and you are special. You will be judged, profiled, and ridiculed, but you will never have to worry. You alone will indefinitely have the means necessary to come on top. Like the successor you were raised to be, you are special. Just like Adam, down to every last atom, and the sun shines down on you even in the evening. So just know you got this. Sincerely, your biggest fan.
That was amazing. You just saw an amazing piece of art. But the poet you just saw was Deem Malik. Deem is a practicing Sunni Muslim of West Indian descent who loves his faith, his heritage, and his family. He specializes in love poems and political poems. In 2018, Deem won the annual writing challenge at the close of an international hip hop festival and was crowned Iron Poet of 2018. That is a title, Iron Poet. Iron sharpens iron, so he will continue to get stronger. So thank you so much, Kadeem. Listen, that was the power of words, right? Because words carry power. They manifest things. They speak, and they carry emotion, and they carry a message. So to match that, we got to have sound, right? And so now we're going to move into the singing part of what we do, with still amazing messages and still amazing emotion being carried. John P. Key, founder of the New Life Community Churches, choir. It has a song called I Believe. And so we're going to hear I Believe performed by the Charlotte Community Virtual Choir under the direction of Mr. David Tang. The video is edited by Mary Paterno. The choirs include Winston-Salem State University Choir. Director is Dwala Simmons Burke. And then we'll have the Algeria Hispania, which is directed by Carmen Calvar. I think I said that right. I hope I did. So you'll see these two choirs coming together to sing I Believe, a version of I Believe, which is brought to you by John P. Key's amazing live community choir. So I hope you're ready. I hope you've been relaxed this whole night because we still have some more stuff to do. But right now, I want you to just enjoy this I Believe by the Charlotte Community Virtual Choir. All right, let's go.
I've got my mansion there. Oh, I believe. Oh, I believe. I believe. I believe. I've got my freedom there. Oh, I believe. Oh, I believe just what he said. Mi libertad está con él. Oh, creo en él. ¿Tú crees? Creo en él. Mi libertad está con él.
Why wasn't I invited? I'm just saying, I know I can't like sing, but that was amazing, David. That was incredible. So the complexity of video, of voices, of technology, of all these things, how did you get that group together and pull that off? Like, what was the magic behind that?
So these virtual choirs are things where people film their individual parts by themselves. So all those singers and all those players played in complete isolation, and then we put them all together. And so you notice that all those people were in different places, and we asked them to film in places that were important to them, and they sang and they played in separate ways, and then we just layered everything on top of each other and made it sound like a group doing a song at one time. And so there were 57 people in that video.
That is incredible. So is it easier to work with people virtually or that rather than in person? Like, I know sometimes musicians and singers can have a little bit of an ego.
Well, in the mixing and editing process, you can kind of do whatever you want to them. So if they give you a little ego, they can they may pay for it on the back end. But one of the things I think about that video that's unique is that is 3 different choirs that, aside from this opportunity, would never have gotten to sing together. And let alone sing in 2 languages and, have that much fun. But because we're in this weird world, we can build new connections between these ensembles. And now all 3 of those choirs are going to be knit together because they share that common bond of that song,
Oh yeah, definitely. So speaking of connecting communities, Deem, you and I got to participate in one of the hottest slams, I think, on the internet these days, the Screen Slam. So I had heard your name, but I had never heard your work, and I got to hear your work for the first time, which was incredible, by the way. So this particular piece is a letter to your children that you have not had yet, which is speaking to a future. With all this COVID and everything going on, how have you been in terms of being inspired, in terms of writing? Like, where have you been pulling things from?
I pull any poetry I get. I feel like I get it foremost from God. He's puts in my head for me to have. But there are all specific experiences that I have, things that I go through. And so one of the blessings of this quarantine being locked in is we can build communities in a different way, building them online. And by doing that, I can build communities of people from so many different places. I've done poetry slams and stuff in India and Africa, some in the UK, some in Ireland. And I've met more and more people, and I've gotten to enjoy more and more experiences. So for example, I recently wrote a poem for my mother, and I wrote the poem as an after poem. I've written her a poem in the past, but I wrote a new one because a friend of mine by the name of Will Allen, he did a poem for his mother. And as he was saying the story about his mother and what they went through as a family when he was growing up as a young man, it was literally a parallel. And I mean, like, in the most beautiful way, like him being the firstborn when she was 20, me being the firstborn, my mother was 20 years old, his mother being from the Caribbean, my mother being from the Caribbean. And like the fact that we shared this story gave me the inspiration to then write my after poem to his poem. And a lot of my poems might not have necessarily been after poems, but they've been from me recognizing that my experiences are not my own experiences, they're everybody's experiences, me trying to paint the picture everybody to have. So it's been really, really fun. It's been great.
That's dope. The way you 2 gentlemen have been able to pull from other people's experience, pulling from John Peake's, I believe, pulling from that other person's poem and creating your own craft, right? Creating your own sense of voice, I think is so amazing. I think that's a testament to artists to be able to, see the world in different perspectives and then offer a new perspective, even though it might be like the same thing, but it's so different. Do you guys, and either one of you can answer this, do you all feel like in this COVID pandemic, whatever, that you've learned something new about yourself as an artist? Like, have you learned a new skill? Has there been something that pushed you to a new project that we get into these spaces where we're like, I'm just going to do that later. I'm going to do that later. And then all of a sudden we can't do anything but do the thing that we were going to do later. Have you guys have approached anything new?
So in my personal life, I'm not actually, I do poetry and I write poetry and I do workshops and things like that. I'm actually a ballroom dancer. So being in that field, I'm often so busy. That wasn't in the bio, bro. That wasn't in the bio at all. Yeah, so I'm a professional ballroom dancer. I work for the Arthur Murray Dance Studios, the international franchise. And so because I work for that company and I work in that field, I'm often busy with like showcases for my students, planning lessons, teaching lessons, going and traveling and stuff like that. And I don't get a lot of time to explore my poetry. And so it's been great because like the bio said, I was crowned the 2018 Iron Poet of Hartford, Connecticut. But I never really went to see how far my poetry could go. So for me, everything wasn't like you're saying, like, did I find anything new? The fact that I'm as good as I actually am kind of was something that I discovered during this pandemic, because being from a small area of New England, people can say you're really good and say that you have skills, but being able to do it in different continents and have people like not only appreciate what you're saying, but also relate to and be inspired by what you're saying is a beautiful thing. A young lady had messaged me who lives in she lives in the Emirates, I believe in Qatar. And she messaged me to say that like I was inspiration to her. To have somebody in Qatar message me in Connecticut is it's crazy. It's an amazing thing. So that the entire experience for me has been great. I learned all kinds of things about myself.
And you know, this virtual choir thing is an incredibly exciting opportunity for choral groups around the country, because we can't sing together in person, right? We're super spreaders because when we sing loud, you know. And so for me, learning how to, you know, mix the audio and make the videos, and Mary Paterno did that video, thank goodness, because that was amazing. But the virtual choir thing provides new opportunities for people to participate in choirs that they could never be in before, right? So, you know, somebody from Holland could sing John P. Key now, a la John P. Key, right? Never before. And so there's this ability. And so I've got this little group going that is committed to breaking down barriers of race and socioeconomics through virtual choirs. Because if you live in a place where you couldn't get to, you know, the Charlotte, you know, Charlotte, what's it called? Master Chorale's rehearsals, you can now sing with the Charlotte Master Chorale in a virtual choir. So for me, the new thing is building community, a global community of singers that can learn each other's music and sing each other's songs and experience each other's faiths and beliefs. And, you know, through this virtual thing, if you got a cell phone, you can do it. You know, it's awesome.
Right. So real quick, because we got to wrap this up, and I appreciate you gentlemen staying and chat with us. Kadeem, where can we find you at?
So you can find me on Instagram at Wordplay by Deem, WORDPLAYBYD, 2 E's and 1 M as in Mary.
Very good. And David?
Facebook, search for Virtual Choir Hub. And then on YouTube, we also have a channel, Virtual Choir Hub. Just look on both those and you'll see these videos and others that have been done. It's a really exciting new world out there for choirs.
Fantastic. Thank you guys so much. So if you all have been keeping up, we just had David Tang and Kadeem drop all of their artisticness on us. Didn't know that Kadeem was a ballroom dancer. So now there's a whole nother world for me to explore and try to keep up with this young man. And then David's just putting together virtual choir. So I'm trying to get into. So anyway, listen, we're not done. Tonight we're going to have a doodle talk, which is going to be an interactive conversation all on the Zoom. So what happens is we're going to close this Zoom down. We're going to invite you to another situation where you come and have a conversation with us. It's going to be amazing. You're going to meet people that you don't know. We were just talking about community and connecting community and interweaving all of our perspectives. So that's another chance to continue that. Here's something else though. We're in a season of voting, and it's very important that you vote, however you decide to do so. However, like literally, however you decide, are you going to early vote? Are you going to go into the polls? All that stuff. So we got some information and a video from Democracy NC that I want you all to watch and pay close attention to. And then when we come back, we'll talk about the doodle talk that we're all going to jump into. Okay, so real quick, stay tuned. Democracy NC. Here we go.
Hi everyone, I'm Chloe, and this year I learned from Democracy North Carolina that we can register to vote online. Super exciting for me because I've moved apartments a lot over the last few years, and each time I did, I would have to get a new paper form, fill it out, and drive it over to my County Board of Elections office. I know you can mail it in, but I've just never really owned stamps. So this new online option is super quick and easy. It's even compatible with cell phones, so you don't have to have a desktop or a laptop to do it. So I had just gone over to ncvoter.org, I read the directions, and there was even a short how-to video, and then I just clicked over to the DMV website. That is the one catch. You have to do it through the DMV, so you need to have a North Carolina DMV-issued license or ID. So if you do have one of those, I would say just head on over to demnc.co/OVR to read the directions and update your voter registration. I cannot wait to vote this fall. I really wouldn't miss it, and I hope you can too.
Awesome. So you heard that. Make sure that you head over to all of those to the websites and get all the information you can. Be as informed as possible. Make sure that you're registered. Make sure your neighbor is registered. Make sure if your son or daughter is old enough that they're registered. All of those things are super important that you do in this election season. So it's part of being a good citizen, right? Exercising our right to vote. I hope you all have enjoyed this. This is just day one, right? We've got a day 2, which is tomorrow. We got a day 3, which is on Wednesday, and day 4, which is on Thursday, which is the wrap up. So you make sure that you tune in for all 4 of those dates. And I saw in the chat where some of y'all are a little late. That's fine. I get it. Life happens. Make sure that you're here on time so you can catch the whole thing and don't have to watch a rewind of things. So again, like I said, we are going to do a doodle talk, which is inviting everyone over to an interactive conversation. I learned some things. We had a pre-production meeting, and I learned how to draw on my phone and write in some amazing answers to questions. So you're going to get to do all of that. You're going to figure out what you're really passionate about. You know what? I'm not going to tell you a whole bunch of stuff. You're going to meet me over there. So I hope you all have enjoyed this evening. This is I Once Was Lost, but Now I'm Found, brought to you by the School of Good Citizenship. Thank you to all of our sponsors and our co-producers for this evening. Thank you for everybody behind the scenes. You can get there through the Zoom. The Zoom should be up on, I'm in a different Zoom. The Zoom should be up where you are. You should see a link that will take you over to the Doodle Talk. All right. So make sure you head your way over to the Doodle Talk, and we will meet you all right over there. I will give you some instructions about what we're going to do when you get there. So I hope you've had a really great evening. The Zoom is, I'm reading some other lines. The Zoom is typed into the Facebook Live and the other stream site. So follow the links, all right? So we're gonna have a doodle talk. I wanna see you there. We're gonna get breakout rooms. We're gonna have an amazing time. I hope you've all enjoyed David Tang. I hope you all have enjoyed Kadeem. They're amazing artists, so make sure you keep up with them. And we'll see you all here tomorrow, right? Then I'm gonna see you in a few minutes, but definitely gonna see you tomorrow, right? Correct? Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, my name is Bluz. This is brought to you by the School of Good Citizenship. I once was lost, but now am found. I'll see you all tomorrow. See you in the Zoom in a few minutes.